Coming up on week 16 of Let's Chat with Kat and Pat. Kat and Pat discuss their ever-changing work schedules as Kat, she just got back from a week in Orlando. Pat, he's out the door, headed to Indy. Pat also discusses making his debut alongside Kirk Minahan. And there's something or a new group of fans called the Gill Boys. And of course, Kat would not let us end the show without making fun of Pat for getting black hair dye all over her precious bathroom. All that and more coming up right now on Let's Chat with Kat and Pat. It is a Let's Chat with Kat and Pat, episode 16. 1-6. It's like we're getting a driver's license here, Katrina. Patrick Gilroy alongside Katrina Paturi, bringing you the good news of divorce, death, alimony, child support, and everything else
work-life balance,
positive in our lives once again here. But Katrina, I got to say that I don't like doing the show when I feel disconnected from you. I think one of the staples of our whirlwind 4.5-year romance has been very rarely do we feel disconnected. But a couple of times a year it happens, and
we're in it.
We do the best we can to reconnect. You do what you need to do. I tried to give you a great day yesterday, but you can't make up for not being together for 4 or 5 days and then having kids thrown into that jumble in 24 hours. It's impossible. So instead of us...
Also being like extremely exhausted because the 5 days I were gone. Oh my God, I still need sleep.
She was an English major, just to be clear here.
Well, no, like my days were like 6:30 you meet for breakfast, 7 to 5 for the meetings. You get one break for lunch where you're like a cattle going with 2,500 to 3,000 people, something ridiculous. You got to fight for food if you're going to have the food. And then from 5 to 6, you have time to catch up on any work, connect with your family, go back for a night event from 6 to 9 or 10, which usually was like 10:30 for me because the Celtics and the Bruins were playing. And of course, I had to leave events to catch the end of the games.
Sure.
But and that entire time, it's got to be professional, Katrina.
Of course it is.
So I'm exhausting.
Yeah, it's exhausting to have that professional persona about yourself all day, all night, no matter who you're with. You can never just, not give a shit for a few minutes because it's the people that find themselves in that I don't give a shit moment that ultimately the VP walks in or somebody critically important walks in and your career that you've built for years can be over in a matter of seconds.
Right. It's that perception in the 2 minutes of you having a moment where I really needed a mental break and you don't get it.
Well, it's something that I've told every new salesperson that I've trained for 20 years is you need to have the proof is in the pudding. You need to do well. You need to sell your accounts and grow your accounts. But ultimately, the most important thing in sales is perception is more important than reality. And perception is what counts. And yes, that helps lend to the bullshit sort of negative idea of salespeople because it celebrates the bullshit part of it, right? But that's human nature. And we learn this in all the different sales trainings that you and I have gone to over the years. Because we've gone to so many of the same sales trainings, I feel like we're on the same page in that regard. You know, and I know that perception is more powerful than reality 99% of the time.
100%. And it's like, how many times, like how much water have you drank that how many times you keep leaving to go to the bathroom? And then if you had drinks at the event the night before, now are you going to the bathroom because now you're sick? But there's also a take notice if you have the drinks and you're out watching the game or like doing God knows whatever. So I just learned today that apparently there was a DJ for like after hours after 11. So I'm so glad I have my rule that nothing good happens past 11 because I missed out on all that drama. Well, and not only that, I'm exhausted.
But the company can't have it both ways. So you told me coming back that there was some little bit.
Those weren't company events, though. Those are people making personal decisions.
But the company put them in that position to begin with. And shame on the company for not knowing the schedule of what's going on. You're putting people, 2,000 strangers or people that barely know each other, under one roof of one resort for way too much time. It's one thing if the event is 2 nights, 3 days, even 3 nights, 4 days, but to have you guys there for 4 nights, 5 days, and to feed you with aggravation and bullshit TED Talks, and then, oh, by the way, here's all the booze. Well, what do they expect to happen on the last night of the last day after being with these people that they really can't stand, but they've got to play make-believe people are going to get fucked up. That's human nature.
I mean, I did actually like the TED Talks, and I had an epiphany that this could be your next job.
Yes.
Like, I could see you being the motivational speaker up there, and we just need to go shopping for you at like Untuckit and get you like a really nice watch. And, but you can influence and inspire people and captivate an audience like that. So I think this is something that, like, when we get to our 50s, this might be like our next stage is like, I'm your manager, your agent, whatever, prepping, keeping the calendar, doing the whole thing, and you're the talent.
I'll be the talent. I mean, I want you, just to be clear, every time we have sex between now and the time that I turn 50, I want you to refer to me as the talent. If you want this to become your reality, you've got to visualize it.
Here I am complimenting you. You're taking it down a couple notches.
I'm just saying, if you want me to have that kind of self-confidence and believe that I can be a mover of men and to have people
and women
believe in me, right? Then you need to start referring to me in our private moments as the talent.
Oh, good grief.
Every couple needs a nickname, all right? Every couple needs a pet name. And I think you just found our new pet name. I am the talent.
So then does that make me the manager?
Yeah, you're more than that. Okay, I'm not going to get it. We've got an abbreviated show tonight because she just got back from her trip. And we've talked about this the last 2 weeks. We are at the tail end of what's been a hellish last 30 days. Like, and I hate to say that because we took Connor on vacation. We had a little bit of vacation time. But the reality is...
But the weather was terrible. It didn't feel like vacation. We've expressed that in one. So there was no reprieve.
There was no break. And our jobs never quit. The weekends come and
they go.
Responsibilities. Yesterday was Mother's Day. You know, yes, I think I gave you a nice day. I think I gave you a nice night the night before. It was the only night where I could get your dad here, get your son here, have your stepson here. I tried really hard. But then we had to start our day yesterday seeing my crippled, drug-addled mother. But we made her day.
Oh, I mean, she was super pleased, but, you know, it's like always a fun time. And then we get to go and like have it be a moment for us, and the moment was great. But then we're at a place where there's no public restrooms. So then we have to go and use the bathroom, which means we have to go and get another drink in order to use the bathroom, which we were... I love Wahlburgers.
We were happy
so I
to.
was like super delighted to be there.
Yeah.
But then we come out and I didn't realize it was already after 6. So it's 6 on a Sunday, and I don't get to use my coupons at like Gap, which we don't have here in New Hampshire. You know, I wasn't able to get into Athleta, which is one of my favorite stores, which now we have here in New Hampshire.
But in fairness, we were there for like 4 hours.
Right. But I had no idea that like, you know, I missed out on my shopping time, which is okay.
We did buy some things.
We did buy some things, but I didn't get to go to all the stores, and it's okay because, like, we really don't need to spend the money, nor do I need another pair of yoga pants. But it would be nice.
We bought a present for our niece, essentially.
Yeah.
A Lululemon like crossbody bag thing that you got a great price, and it's Celtic green, and
which
that's
like
fitting.
Fits in our like mantra of gifts.
And I got my wedding outfit, so most of the
that
time,
was a success.
when a guy gets married, he's wearing a tux or at least a really classy suit. I'm not. I'm wearing green dress pants and a linen white shirt. That's
we stumbled upon these options, which is fantastic.
And my shirt is a little bit too big for me, but when I
it's
said
like
that
breezy.
To you, yeah, because it's going to be a beach wedding, right? So with the new hair and the linen shirt, like it's a whole beach look for me. I'm just curious, what are you going to wear to match that?
Well, I don't know yet. And, you know, I'm a woman, so my size fluctuates. So, like, I'll wait till sometime this fall. And
you're going to wait till, like, January 8th.
Oh, my God.
You are. Because your size fluctuates. And I love every size that you are. But your size fluctuates, at least in your own mind, every 72 hours. You're like, my period's gone. My period's coming. It's a week away. I can feel it. Like the build.
I had to sit at a conference all week. So now I need to run a little extra.
For somebody who's had like an IUD and now takes the pill to limit
that was such a difference. Yeah.
To limit all this, you still have to live in this world of like the period calendar. The good news is you're approaching 50. Before we know it, and maybe that midlife crisis will come and menopause will come, then the period weight won't be a thing anymore.
Well, no, but I think there's like a menopause weight. Like, I don't know. These are things I have to look forward to. Can't wait.
As a female, there's always some sort of new weight.
Fabulous.
So it is Let's Chat with Kat and Pat. She's Katrina Pateri. I am Patrick Gilroy. It is week number 16. It is an abbreviated show. She just got back from her 5-day show. My next trip is tomorrow. So I'm going to get up super early. catch a flight out of Boston, and go to Indy. I got to get dressed for the trade show here, then go fly on a plane and immediately get off the plane and then haul 2 monster suitcases and my backpack to the show. What I don't like, I read this today, was that the shuttle bus that takes us to the show drops us off a half a mile away from where the show is. We have no problem walking. Except it's going to be 90 degrees, and I've got 2 suitcases. One is certainly overweight, and the backpack is I've got my personal stuff, I've got work stuff, and a backpack. You know how much I sweat.
Well, and then you're not going to be able to shower for a while. Like, this poses a problem.
Like, I can't check into my hotel room until 3 o'clock.
Uber and just get front row Joe service?
I don't know. I really don't know. So this Indy airport is one I'm not familiar with. I got an email today from Sweets and Snacks that they are giving me VIP service because of my status with them.
Okay.
But it's not about that. It's about I think the drop-off spot for whether it's Uber, Lyft, a cab, or the bus, from what I read, it's a half a mile away from the entrance, our particular entrance. So this is a giant conference center. You know, they've got like an east entrance, a west entrance, a north entrance. I think they make all of the cars drop you off at this central entrance. So they said...
So it's like Disney Springs.
They said expect a half a mile walk between, getting dropped off and getting to your booth. Normally, I wouldn't care. A half-mile walk is nothing. I do that in my sleep. A half-mile walk hauling a couple 100 pounds of bullshit with me in 90-degree weather, with the way that I sweat, with dress pants on, a dress shirt on, I just feel like, and my shower at that point was like 7 hours ago.
Yeah.
I just feel like I am not going to be my best self. And then it gets better. The show gets over at 6 tomorrow night. We've got our big company dinner at 7. At this point, I still haven't checked into my hotel room. I haven't gone to the gym. I haven't done anything to refresh myself. I think there's a world in which I am hauling more bags to our company dinner in my sweaty clothes. And then when the company dinner is over, hauling those bags back to the hotel and then checking in.
That just seems like crazy, but maybe you can call me on the verge of tears on the first night instead of the third night like I did to you.
You called me not the verge. You called me in tears on the third night.
Which it takes a lot for me to cry.
And twice on the fourth day.
Yeah.
Like, there were, within 24 hours, there were 3 phone calls with you crying. To be clear, the time we've been together, we have experienced multiple personal losses in our lives. We have had catastrophic events happen with our children, with our parents, with our exes. You don't cry. Like, you don't cry.
No, I need a couple breaks. I need a proper gym. I need a proper meal.
You cried
I was
twice.
like broken.
So like, I was so happy. So you called and you cried. And then the next time you called, you were happy. I was like, oh, things are getting better. Fuck that. The next 2 phone calls, you were in tears.
I was like, we're supposed to be having a break. I'm supposed to be with my team. I literally I put my sunglasses on because I was crying and I didn't want anyone to see me cry as I was leaving because the thought of meeting with my team was just so overwhelming that I was just like, I'm going to peace out and go back to the hotel room. And then I was like, oh my God, they're going to think I'm hungover from drinking and watching the game the night before, which I was not.
No, other people were, by the way.
Other people were, but I was not. That is not me.
That's sometimes it is.
It is personal, on vacation. That is not me on a work trip.
No, here's the thing, honey. You can handle, like a champ, you can handle 3 well-poured glasses of wine. I know sometimes you tell me you've had 2 or 3, but your voice changes when you've had the 4th. So don't lie next time. Just say I had 4.
I've also been food deprived. So those 3 hit me a lot more when I can't eat.
You had the 4th on that night. You did.
When the Celtics were playing?
Yeah,
no, when the Bruins were playing.
When you were hanging out with Jim Tracy, you had the 4th.
Right.
And, you try and tell me you had 2, but your voice was telling me you had 4.
Well, here's the problem.
Oh, so you just admitted to lying.
No, here's the liar. No, here's the problem is I had a margarita at Epcot, which I never drink liquor, and then I had my wine. Yeah,
you had your margarita
and that wasn't
solo.
good.
You had it by
yourself. I know, it was so bad.
Tragic.
I mean, how do you go to Epcot and end up by yourself when you're on a trip with 2,500 people? I made that happen.
Well, it's because you are the universal leader, and sometimes people look at you almost like a teacher, and they want to run away from the teacher.
Yeah,
like that.
I mean, I get it, but I should have just not tried to be.
You should have just stayed back at the hotel.
Oh,
and taking
And
a nap, taking a good shower, and then met Jim down for the game.
Like I should have just gone through that, but I felt like I needed to participate.
How many times?
And now I know, like, it's okay for me to say no to participating.
There's been maybe 8 to 10 times since I've gotten to know you that we go out relatively hard-ish on like a Friday. But on Saturday, it's happened with Heather and AJ, it's happened with Michelle and Ben. Saturday, we have plans with them. And I'll look at you and you'll get mad at me, but I'll look at you and say, I just feel like we're overdoing it before we leave. And then you get mad. You're like, but you fucking made these plans.
Yeah, and we honor our commitments, and we don't see our friends often. Like, we got to go. Like, we're not the people that cancel. We don't cancel.
No, but
that's why we're exhausted.
Those are the times in which we fight.
Yeah.
Because while I'm saying it, you can't agree with me verbally, but psychologically, like you're like on the same page. Yeah, I know. My body feels it too. We are overdoing it. This is not good. And there's not that moment that's going to happen when you have your second glass of wine where like you perk up and you're like, oh, we're fine here. You're always chasing that ability to like perk up and be smiley and happy.
Right. But in fairness, when we do get to the moment and we didn't cancel it because we're exhausted, we end up having a good time, or we end up like de-stressing and having like...
Or we end up backing your car up into a snowbank and putting a big dent in it. Like that happens too. That's my fault.
I know.
It's my fault.
Stupid.
I also took care of it and fixed it and saved us money. So it's fine. So I leave tomorrow morning. When I didn't have to check a bag, I was originally planning on getting up at 4:45 to be getting out of here by 5:30.
Still no sleep for me.
No sleep for you because and by the way...
Like, is there like a song that's like no sleep for the wicked or something sleep deprived?
I can't take...
That can be like the beginning of this.
I'll find the song, okay? But I cannot be held responsible for your inability to sleep when I wake up, because you wake up many times. You are a premenopausal woman. You get up all the time in the middle of the night to pee, like constantly. And if I sat here and bitched and complained, oh, Katrina got up 9 times to pee last night and I got no sleep, we would not work. But I've got to get up to go to work, and legit, you won't go back to sleep.
Well, it's because you got to get up at 4:45, then you got to get out of the shower at 5:15, then you got to say bye, then the door goes, then I got to get up an hour later. I can't just go back to sleep that easily.
Okay, there's plenty of times when you've got to get up to go to like Western Mass, just drive out there. So you get up super early, right? And you take your shower, so you wake up, you take a shower.
And you like sometimes won't answer your cell phone, so then I got to like voice through the Nest camera and be like, Patrick, and yell at you through the Nest camera to wake you up. I don't have that ability.
Why not?
I
maybe you need to be more tired than you are today. Maybe you need to walk a day in my shoes and then feel how
if
tired
I could have the ability to sleep like that, I would. And you know me, I don't sleep on planes. My flight home on Friday, I kept sleeping and I kept waking up, and I could go back to sleep, and it was delightful.
It was.
Keep nodding off for a half hour because I've never been able to do that, but that was a pure exhaustion.
So when you were waking up, though, it's funny because we talk about these things. So you were waking up because there was a farty person near you.
Like in the middle seat. And then the guy in the aisle seat is looking at me, holding his nose, talking about how the guy in the middle seat is farting. And it's disgusting.
We have been surrounded by either little children pooping in their diapers or farty people.
Which they can't help it.
They can't help it.
Yeah.
But or farty people. And I beg you, people of America, people of the world, if you know you're getting onto a plane, can we avoid Chipotle and Taco Bell? Can we just say, you know what? I'm getting on a plane, and I know I really want my fucking chalupa, but hold off on the chalupa until you get home. Then go buy all the chalupas that you want. I swear to God, these farty people, they go to the airport, and they're like, what is the most Mexican, Spanish, empanada,
I think it's any fast food. It's going to make you gassy.
It's going to make you gassy, but these things smell special. Like there's something going on there. You know what I'm talking about. It happened on our flight to Myrtle Beach. And it's like...
This is where face masks on the plane were good.
Actually,
it help mask it a little bit. And then you could spray something nice in your face mask so you just smell pleasantry.
So do you think
the whole time? Like maybe we just go back to wearing face masks on the plane.
We were so happy to get rid of
not have it. I know. It's hard to breathe, but is it hard to breathe in the open air without the face mask? This is the debate.
I don't think we've ever established this, but this is 100% true. We flew on the first flight where masks were mandatory, headed back from Nashville, when they didn't know what the fuck was going on.
On March 16th,
it's like,
and they were handing them out.
it's like
as we were getting on the
72
flight.
hours into
Yeah.
the pandemic, and it's either like we're grounding the flight or you're wearing this. And we also flew on the first Southwest flight out where masks weren't mandatory.
Exactly. No, I mean, we were first timers with the mask mandates all around.
And we also flew with those masks on every time we could. We still continue to travel.
Yeah, it did not slow us down. That's for
It
sure.
didn't. It was so fun. We should do a show on this because we lived every inch of the pandemic around this country. And how funny was it, like when we would go, like leave Boston, where you got essentially like a Tyvek suit on.
Well, they got like gloves,
triple
and,
mask.
the neck gaiter,
Yeah.
and like two or three masks on.
You land
like,
in Sarasota.
a hat on, and like the whole thing. You land in Sarasota, it's like 100 degrees, and
People are just like, I don't give a fuck. Like restaurants, like here, all the restaurants at the time, it was a big deal when we were allowed to sit at a bar again. But the bar,
you had
the bar
a
had
little
the
hanging plastic piece.
Yeah, like they allowed two people to sit next to each other, and then you had plexiglass, two people, plexiglass. But at the same time, we'd fly, it would take 2.5 hours to get to Sarasota, and there's 3,000 people sitting around a big round bar.
No big deal. Like,
we're
not doing this.
It's another day in paradise.
Yeah.
And so we got to live every inch of that
I think
pandemic.
that's totally an episode.
So
100%.
so I'm leaving for
stay
Indy.
tuned.
But I'm leaving for Indy.
Yeah.
And I don't get back until Thursday night if everything goes well. So
It's a hope and a prayer.
usually this show is in Chicago. It's first time it's in Indy. Luckily, I've done shows in this convention center before, so I am optimistic that we're going to be okay. It's a smaller venue than where it's usually at. And it closes at 1 instead of 4. So I have booked the 6:45 flight home, and the airport is 7 miles from the convention center to the airport. But everybody else on the closing team is coming home Friday because there's no confidence that the pallets will be out and we'll be able to.
Well, and I know the drill. Like sometimes it works, sometimes it does.
Yeah, but Friday.
But
we got
nowadays,
plans. So
oh yeah, Friday we have plans. You're gonna come home. Like you're leaving tomorrow on my birthday, so like you gotta make it home Friday because we have plans with friends to like actually like, oh, it's your birthday.
okay, I'm not an asshole. So
Well, no, like I mean, work is important.
No, but-
it is a priority.
Okay.
But like it just happens, the show falls on it. You were home for Connor's birthday. You're usually gone for his. You're gone for mine.
okay, what did I do on Saturday night for you?
Well, yeah, we had like the family birthday party, Mother's Day
Like I tried really hard.
extravaganza.
It's just
It's not
simple. But
extravaganza,
you
but
want
that's okay.
simple. I gave you simple, but I got your kid here. Connor was here. You got thoughtful gifts. We got delicious food. And yeah, it sucks that we can't have 2 individual celebrations with everybody for you. That has nothing to do with me and my ability to celebrate you.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel terrible that tomorrow I'm going to not only leave on your birthday, but I'm going to wake you up prematurely on your birthday, make your birthday suck because you're going to be tired all day, and then you're going to want to celebrate your birthday, and instead you've got to take care of probably my grumpy sick son.
Yep. It'll be awesome because I'm the one who takes care of the sick child, not mom.
It's true. I mean, we've talked about it so many times. Like, there's something, I said it to you on the phone today, like we joke and we shit on the exes and that's fine. And people, I think, are enjoying that based on the feedback. So I promise you 1,000 times, we are not done shitting on the exes. We are just getting started. But we're not going to do it every week because if we do it every week, then it becomes
so
a shtick.
negative. Yeah.
I don't want to be sticky.
We're not that grumpy with it, but it is frustrating.
But
we can sympathize.
They give us plenty of opportunity to shit on them. So the next time they give us the opportunity, no matter who it is, I promise you we'll bring it to you here live on the air. But until then, it is what it is. Look, here's the thing. There's something going on that's out of Connor's control environmentally at mom's house. It cannot be a coincidence that every time he goes there, whether it's 24 hours or 72 hours, when he comes back, he doesn't feel well, whether it's an environmental thing or a physical thing because of
food thing, like maybe anxiety stricken. We don't know.
There's something going on.
Not right.
You know, he comes home clutching his stomach, saying he threw up last night. But when he left here, he was back to normal, social, making eye contact, doing all the right things.
He got up early, like excited to be able to celebrate Mother's Day, like ate a huge breakfast,
And
super happy.
He was awesome.
For it.
He was like,
yeah.
It's annoying watching the 13 and the 20-year-old speak the same way and be equally stupid because they're both super intelligent. However, it's also encouraging for me to be like, oh, Connor's essentially the same as Roger right now.
Yeah.
Roger's
successful in college.
right.
There is hope.
Right, there's hope.
It does exist.
So when he left here, I think not just me being a parent that wants the best for my kid and maybe having this looking at it through green colored glasses, so to speak. I was optimistic because the challenges we've been dealing with him, but all of a sudden, a couple of days here and he's back to normal. He was himself, and then he comes here today and he's kind of like aloof and like not making eye contact
and like, like what do you mean?
Yeah.
And it has literally been. It was 24 hours from pickup to drop off at school, and he is a shell of himself. He's sick. He hasn't slept. He hasn't eaten. His back hurts. He's got all these ailments, and
I think
he's a real. I don't want to say he was a peach because he wasn't bad. It's just it's like you pity him. You just feel sorry.
Right, and when he left here yesterday morning,
he was in such good spirits. Completely different kid.
But I will say this, and I know you've got one more topic you want to get to tonight. It's a short show. I'm sorry. We got to get to my kid's concert. Stepmom's got to be there. I got to be there. We got to go support him because who isn't going to go tonight?
Mom.
Mom will not be there. So somebody's got to be there to support the kids singing, and that will be, we're not even married. You're not even fucking stepmom yet.
Yeah,
and you're
not even official.
The sign that you built for him, you're going to be like, go CJ. Like, that's who you are. And I love you for that. But it's so sad that I know he'll look out in the audience and see me or see you or whatever and be happy that we're there. And no matter how many times his mom fails him, I know he's also looking for her.
He's always going to love her, but he always wants her to be there.
But he's always looking. He did it at basketball, at football. You could almost...
You can see him looking up and like looking.
He'll look at us and like acknowledge us, but he keeps looking like,
like,
is mom here too? And 99% of the time she lets him down. And it's going to be hard to be a 13-year-old kid in today's world with all the bullshit that we feed to these kids now. When I say that mentally, psychologically, like, hey,
social media
hey,
and all that.
You don't. Listen, man. Yeah, I know you're a man. I know you got a cock, but nothing about that cock says that you are a straight male or you are a male at all. You could be a feline, and if you want to be a canine, you could be that too. If you want to take a shit in a fucking bird box and go to school like that, you can do that. That's accepted. These kids have got so much bullshit being thrown into their heads. I know that when you and I were growing up 25, 30, 35 years ago.
They just have so many options.
It was
They're
hard.
not mature enough to like filter through those options. They need one or two options.
How many times?
And then make a decision.
How many times, honey, when we're sitting there in the morning or laying there in the morning in bed on a night or a morning where you don't have to get up super early or we don't have an aggressive schedule against us.
Like Zoom calls and everything starting, yeah.
So Corey's like in bed with us. And we'll get up and make coffee and start to make our day. And then Corey will look at us or come up and hug us and kiss us. And then she'll just spread herself out and fall back asleep. Like lights are on, TV's on. We are getting into our day. By the way,
Corey is our dog. And it's just like, we're so envious.
Yeah. So,
of like, what would it be just to have a life as a dog for a day?
Right. Like, of course, I feel like everybody says that. Like, now, what do I always say to you? I'm like, yeah, it's probably awesome, but their lives are like 10 to 15 years. So, like,
right. So they don't have a long lifespan. But like, it's glorious.
For
like,
24 hours.
They get to live like they're in retirement. They're spoiled. They're coddled. They're walked. Every little whim is
they're just like,
too.
They're just like, I want a treat. I'm going to cry till you give me one.
Yeah.
I want to get in that room and get in that bed. I'm going to cry till you make it happen.
So are you saying you'd be happy to identify as a dog for a day?
What I'm saying is that that thought never crossed my mind when I was a 13-year-old boy, desperately trying to get Chrissy Yeba's attention because she was the first girl to sprout tits in 7th grade.
Oh, lovely.
No, I'm dead serious. That's not, kids today don't think that way.
Yeah.
They are like, oh, my cat has a great life. I identify as a feline. What? Like, but
I need a litter box.
And then the schools and the school districts, they allow it to happen. So they placate it, and I can't deal with that.
Well, this isn't the focus of our...
No, so why don't you just pull us back on track because I got to go to my kid's concert.
So I come home from the business trip. Mind you, I've like done the laundry, laid out the lunches, laid out the clothes. I've tried to get caught up with everything to be prepared to be gone for 5 days. And I come home and I'm just usually you're a do-gooder and like you try to do some type of project that epically fails, and I'm like, please stop doing that because it just creates more work.
The last time you went.
Mm-hmm. We had baking soda with the floor.
No, that was 2 times ago.
Okay.
The last time I had done like multiple loads of laundry, multiple loads of dishes. And when you came home, I said to you the night before, I said, honey, I'm really sorry. I've done 3 loads of laundry, wash, dried, fold, 2 loads of dishes, put away. Unfortunately, when you get home, there's going to be a load in the washer, a load in the dryer, and a full dishwasher. But please don't discount what I've done. And this time around, I left you. Tell me what was in the washer, dryer, and dishwasher.
The washer was good, but like when I do the laundry, wash, dry, and fold, I put everybody's away.
You don't put my laundry away.
I put your laundry away.
No, you don't.
I don't put your jeans away because I can't freaking reach it. But now I've like had to reorganize your closet so to go there. I put your freaking clothes away.
You're gonna tell me,
or I leave your gym stuff
you're
out.
Tell me I don't put your laundry away?
Like you don't know where any of it goes. So I just get to come home to like this pile of like underwear and socks and bras and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just supposed to ignore and leave that in the bureau? I can't do that.
So the underwear and socks and bras and
they're all clean.
They're all clean, folded, or on hangers. But that's not good enough. Just to be clear.
Well, it's like a whole like
no.
It's still a task.
It is not my fault. I keep going, but listen, it is not my fault that some people alphabetically order their lives. You color code your fucking closet like you're still working in retail, and I can't do that.
Bib, honey.
I can't do that. And then you got one section for short sleeves, one section for long sleeves, one section for tank tops, like at all different colors. Like you think you're still running Victoria's Secret in your mini closet, and no, that's an epic fail. So what I've decided to do is wash, dry, fold, and hang, and then you can put them where you like them, because when I've tried, and I have made the effort multiple times, I put them in the wrong places, and they say, honey,
that's probably true.
Honey, I appreciate the effort. Never try to put my clothes where you think they belong. Don't ever do it again.
So is there a reason why you couldn't put Connor's clothes away?
I put them in this.
They're in the basket.
The same thing you do. You put them in the basket.
I do that to hide the good clothes from going to mom's house.
I put him in the basket.
Okay.
Until he leaves.
Okay.
When you got back, he wasn't gone yet.
I know. We need to hoard the good and the new clothes
because mom steals them.
Mom's house.
Mom steals them,
and then they never come back.
She says, "I bought those." No. If it doesn't say Amazon Essentials or Goodwill, you do not buy those. Like that's an easy identifier. Yeah. But we can't do that. That's abusive. Yeah. So anyways.
So let me just paint the picture to like when I come home.
I love the word. The fact that you're using the word paint.
Paint the picture. So I come home and I have to like rush home from a flight. I'm home for like 20 minutes and then I need to hop on another Zoom call. Because like heaven forbid I get more than 30 minutes where I'm not on a clock and on a schedule.
Speaking of that. Chorus starts in 3 minutes.
And here I am walking through the front door and there's like a certain odor to the house like when I walk in. So I get up the stairs and I look and all the doors are open in the hallway. Normally we keep those all closed. And 1, we keep those all closed so the RoboVac can do its business. 2, we keep those all closed because I don't want our dog drinking water from the toilet. So
she loves toilet water.
Oh, it's disgusting.
It's her favorite. It's like fucking lemonade.
So I go to start closing all the doors.
Put fresh water in her bowl. And give her the option between fresh water and toilet water.
And she chooses toilet water.
She's going to choose the toilet that your ass sat in 100% of the time.
Like, it's ridiculous.
She's like, Mom was here. Lick, lick.
So I go to start closing all the doors. And, like, Corey's had a field day on my son's bed. And I got to vacuum it because her hair is everywhere.
Because he might sleep there the next night.
Well, it's just like I lay out stuff to, like, gifting for people.
I know.
And then
hairy bitch.
We get to Caitlin's room. And the RoboVac is stuck somewhere in there. So that's not going off. We get to Connor's room and his teenage boy, which is probably the result of like the smell for like the hormone change. So I got to close that door. And then I find Corey drinking out of the toilet bowl.
Awesome.
And as she's drinking out of the toilet bowl, I'm noticing that the plunger has been moved. And at some point, the plunger had to be used this week because like its droppings or remnants are on the side of the toilet bowl. So
you made us eat a fucking frozen pizza while you were gone. Yes, the plunger was used. Okay. She's like, on night 1, I left this fabulous meal for you. On night 2, fuck you. It's a frozen pizza. But she put a cute little note on it. It said, love you. Frozen pizza.
I mean, it was a good frozen
It was
pizza.
a store brand frozen
It was
pizza.
like with the
No.
Sicilian one. It
No,
was
no,
a good
no,
one.
no. You kept the Screaming Sicilians. Those are still in the freezer in the garage
Why didn't you use those?
because it's not the one you put the note on left. You left the Shaw's brand
Oh.
fucking freezer burned bullshit. You probably got a $9 pizza for 92 cents. Okay, that's you.
Hey, equitable.
The note was on that. So yes, the plunger was used. But
All right.
in fairness, we saved the fortune.
By not like doing takeout, I just had to clean. So I get to the kitchen.
That's not even the crux of
No,
your anger.
no. I get to the kitchen, and then the dog's water bowl that can hold like a gallon is empty. And I did ask you twice to do it. And you said, honey, don't do that. Don't lift it. It's too heavy for you. I'll do it. Well, you didn't.
I usually do it.
And so the dog has no water, hence why she's drinking out of the toilet
That's
bowl.
your larger point.
Okay.
Make fun of me.
So then I get on my call for an hour and a half, and then I finally make my way to the bedroom where my mounds of laundry are, and into the bathroom. And into the bathroom is like a murder scene of hair dye.
I don't dye my hair.
So as happy as you are
I don't
to
dye
have
my
the
hair.
hair transplant,
I don't dye my hair.
there is evidence of like fingerprints, handprints everywhere of that. What is it? The Just for Men
Yes. Touch of gray.
touch of gray. Well, it's a touch of gray all over my white bathroom.
Listen, you don't like to spend money, right? So I had the option of spending $200 to have some broad that I don't know cut my hair and do touch of gray.
Mhm.
Then I had the option of going to like Great Clips or whatever, and it was going to be like $50.
And they disappointed you.
So on their menu online, I was like, fuck it. I'm going to do it. I got a big trade show next week. I want to surprise Katrina when she gets home. You can understand, like, I've never, in the time you've known me, it's only like the last 30 days that I've styled my hair.
Well, like you're spending more time and more products in the bathroom than I use.
Right. But
And I'm the chick.
But can you understand that this is like all new to me?
Well, so it's new. I don't know if it's midlife crisis. I don't know what it is.
No.
But I know that you're like a Tasmanian devil with like a mess of stuff.
Like, get fucked. You know it. It's not,
We have white vanity with like Just for Men product dripping down. I've got handprints on my newly painted
I'll never
white
do it again.
walls.
But in fairness, 2 months ago when I started being able to style my hair,
Did I or did I not offer to dye it
no,
for you?
did I or did I not say to you, hey, the chick that styles your hair and cuts your hair and colors your hair, who also cut my hair,
Mm-hmm.
all right, she cut my hair, did I not say, honey, I think I want to get my hair somewhat, I didn't want to go jet black.
Mhm.
I just want to, this is all new to me. I have not been able to style my hair since my sophomore year in high school. Like, you don't get that. So now I can do it, and guess what? It's only getting better. I'm barely 6 months in. We got 6 more months to go
Okay.
until hold on. I went to you. I came to you and I said, hey, you don't pay full price to get your hair colored. Do you think Caitlin can do mine? And what did Caitlin say?
Caitlin said I don't dye men's hair.
I'm uncomfortable. Those were her words.
Mhm.
So you leave me with no choice. Next time you can do it for me.
Well,
I will never
well,
spend them. I was shocked.
I think here's my favorite is so I see the crime scene of the Just for
Okay.
Men, right?
I gotta go.
Oh well, and then you've been on the radio,
How does
and
it
now,
sound?
and now you have.
I have not been on the radio. I have not been on the
Oh,
radio.
you've been on.
I have been on a podcast
Mhm.
with
Where
Kurt
you've
Mann and Blind Mike and that whole
And
thing.
you are now with your freshly dyed, freshly hair transplanted hair. Now have a nickname of Gilboy.
I don't think it's a nickname. I think it's more of like a fan club.
Okay.
Based on
Well, you know what? You are looking prime, prim, and proper, and freshly dyed for
But-
your Gilboy crowd.
But here's the irony.
as I'm scrubbing to make everything look
But
fresh and clean again.
Here's the irony, and you know this, and this is what's so sad about
Mhm.
it, is early on when we first started dating, we'd go out, and there were two sets of people that were attracted to me.
Yeah.
And they would make you occasionally feel insecure because I would get attention from them. This is well before the hair transplant or the
Mhm.
hair dye. So the irony is that, like, I think it's all for nothing
Mhm.
because who are those two groups of people?
You get hit on by gay men. They love you. And which those are the ones that I get a little jealous of because they're actually like really decent looking and polished and pulled together.
And you think I want them to suck my dick?
Well, I'm just saying,
you're really
I don't
decent
know.
looking. You're
Like,
polished.
well, I mean, it's a decent competition. I'm not gonna lie, it's a decent competition.
There is no.
What is not a decent competition?
Wait, no. Just I want to be clear. There is no man's mouth or man's asshole that is going to be competition.
Right, but you still get excited. You're flattered. You take it as a good compliment.
Wait, no, excited is the wrong word. I do not get excited.
You're flattered.
I am flattered.
You're appreciative. You have gratitude.
Last night when you came to bed in that Celtic...
Okay, we're not going there.
No, we are. No detail. But last night when you came to bed, because I'm leaving on my trip, you just got back from yours, and like we have to stay connected. We're bookend the show, okay? We have to stay connected. You came to bed in a Celtic green teddy.
And are you saying that that's better than the over 70 club that is your other second option that hits on you?
When you were in the Celtic green teddy, I would like to describe and define my physical reaction as excited. No, as excited. You just said that I get excited.
Well, I didn't mean like that. I meant in like, it's flattering. You're like, oh, like I still got it. Like I'm getting noticed because your other option is women over 70.
Or 4'9" trolls.
Okay, well, she doesn't like you, so I don't think so. I don't think that's in your real house.
Meanwhile, your option is everybody, every man in America. So like,
and some women.
So excuse me for a small level of excitement where my self-esteem gets raised. If you'd like me to continue spending $80 a week as a copay to see a therapist, thank you, BetterHelp.com/Kirk. He saves me 10% when I do that. Okay, see, that's how it's done there.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's what the virtual help that I get and that I got and that Connor gets and Connor got.
I'm just asking, when you need the Just for Men,
I'm never gonna do
for
it
the
again.
boost, can you please let me do it? Can we do this as a teamwork thing so my white bathroom can be saved? That's all I'm asking.
I'm not gonna.
I want you to look good for the Gilboy crowd.
The Gil Boys. I love that name, by the way.
I want you to be attractive and like set up for success for them. But I would like to control the Just for Men. That's all.
Okay. You know there's going to be a nickname.
Oh, you know what? It's the Gilboy Just for Men.
Okay, you know there's going to be a nickname for you. Okay.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
The only reason the nickname happened was because I happened to be on camera for Kirk's show. There's going to come a time where we have cameras in here or you're on camera for Kirk's show. And we're going to make you wear something that shows your strengths because that's what the world does. So early on in the show, like 4 minutes in, I don't know who it was, somebody said, hey, is Gilroy hot? And it was a dude. And it devolved from there. I don't think I'm hot. I don't think I'm attractive.
Justifying your wheelhouse.
But that's what it is. So it's been old ladies and men for a long time.
But you still got it.
I do. But it's old ladies, it's men, and it's Katrina. And as long as I can have you, I guess I have to take the baggage along with it.
I'm just saying, like, give me some control with the Just for Men.
All right, you got it. And in the meantime, we'll be back next week, I think on time, on plan, and on schedule.
We're hoping.
For week 17. Well, I mean, we've got some personal stuff coming up, but they're short trips, they're fun trips, and they don't interfere with this.
I scheduled them around the podcast, so that is not an issue.
Of course you did. But I have now missed the first 7 minutes of my son's
not
concert.
on for the first 7 minutes. Last time we went to a concert, we waited 40 minutes.
But
okay, you can end it.
So I'm going to go see my son sing. He's probably going to not be on stage because he's backstage throwing up and sick. So he's waiting for me to come pick him up. Like, that's what's going to happen. We'll be back in 9 minutes. All right,
recap.
That's as he never sang a single note tonight because Mom didn't tell us that he was sick. Until next week, her name's Katrina Pateri. My name is Patrick Gilroy. Big thank you goes out to Kirk Minahan, the Kirk Minahan Podcast Network, Blind Mike, Justin, and the whole crew, Coleman. We appreciate everything you guys do for us. Find us on Spotify, find us on Apple Podcasts, and of course now find us on YouTube. Until next week, she's Katrina. I'm Patrick. Bye-bye.